This year, for my Friendsgiving, I decided to make a beef shank ragu with tagliatelle pasta. I wanted my ragu to be a labor of love. I started in the morning. I seared off the pieces of beef shank in some olive oil to get some nice browning on the meat and bone, but also provide a beautiful rendering that I could stir in my mirepoix. Once my mirepoix of carrots, onions, celery, and garlic were a little translucent from sautéing, I added in tomato paste. Then I added some red wine. I let that render off before pouring in some crushed red tomatoes. Then I added in some herbs, dried bay leaf, fresh thyme, and fresh rosemary. I added back in the short ribs and made sure it was completely covered by the sauce, and then placed it in the oven at 300 for 1 hour. After 1 hour, I took it out and gave the meat a turn and placed it back in the oven for another hour and a half. When it came out, the meat was so tender it was falling off the bone. I made sure to take out all the herb stems that had released all its flavor into the sauce. I shredded the meat by hand and placed it back in the sauce. I let it meld once again in the sauce. The meat was just the right amount of fatty and lean, and the bone marrow lended a great toasty flavor as well. Right before serving, I tossed in some al dente tagliatelle pasta and topped it off with some parsley. And for my cat Kiki, I made her a fancy Thanksgiving feast of her usual wet food, her favorite salmon paste snack, and some catnip for garnish. I think friendship is a lot like a pot of slow-cooked beef shank ragu. Friendship warms your soul, and a good friendship takes time, patience, and some amount of work. And the more you invest in it, the more depth it has. I'm grateful I have so many ragus in my life. This year, I have a lot to be grateful for. Oh, and this is Kiki. Say hi, Kiki.